What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We are back with another episode of the Ruell Report, and I'd be remiss to say happy Tuesday morning for all of you out there in Australia. This is 7 o'clock Eastern time. That's where I'm hanging out. 5 o'clock Mountain time. That's where Ruell's hanging out. We're here every single Monday to give you some sort of insight into the crypto market. What we try to do on this show is we're going to try to take one theme, go pretty deep into that theme, but not just talk theoretical. Like, we actually want to get actionable, give you ideas, give you a look at something that you probably haven't explored before. Today, what we're going to be looking at, and Ruel teased this one last week, are crypto tokens or crypto projects, maybe. Ruel will give us the clarity, that have some sort of a connection to the World Economic Forum. And with that, Ruel, how are we doing today, man?
Pretty good. It's a great day out here in Arizona. And, since we don't do daylight savings time, now we're on actually Pacific time. So it's pretty crazy. I'm now at 4 o'clock over here. But yeah, man, everything's good for me. Dude. Yeah, everything's great for me. And what we're going to be talking about today is like WCF or WCF. Oh my God, I'm about to name wrestling federations, dude, like WCW, WWF. We're going to talk about WEF coins here. And these coins have direct relationships to the WEF, or they're related to LCX, which is an actual member of the WEF, but they have actual partners. So by being a partner of LCX, you're essentially a partner of the World Economic Forum.
All right, fair enough. And more specifically, what is the list that you're going to be taking us through today?
Well, it's going to be a very, very great list.
It's a big list. 10?
We're going at least 11.
You're going to have to move fast.
Oh, yeah.
That is not your strength as a human being.
Well,
you get into some of these projects, you stay in them for 10, 15 minutes.
When I had a stroke, moving fast was something I could not do, like Slothland there. But, right now, we'll see what we can do, because I'm also a little ADD. So easily distracted is also a thing in my world, too.
Deal.
But yeah.
All right. So why don't you give us the background?
Huh?
I was going to say, why don't you start just by giving us the background?
Okay. Big background is I know everyone thinks that the WEF, like, they hate crypto and they don't care about crypto, and crypto is a threat to their existence, kind of. But nothing can be further from the case. They have their own exchange that's a member, LCX. And if you read certain tea leaves, you could say some cryptocurrencies actually may have originated with the WEF.
Okay.
Many people say, and like, this is alleged, I don't have any articles directly saying this, but many may say that Ethereum may have originated there, and the whole idea of DeFi may have been their creation. Even though shout out to Reggie Middleton, he has an actual patent on DeFi and was the first person to do it, and he's on the Gentleman of Crypto Network. But many say that Ethereum may be their creation. And also, they kind of mentioned the company that made Chainlink, and we went over Chainlink and oracles and what's an oracle last week, so check out that episode. But they mentioned the company that made Chainlink before Chainlink was even in existence. So that's another thing there. So yeah, and Chainlink has like literally about like 900 partners in crypto, because being an oracle and bringing data off from off of the blockchain, or that's outside of the blockchain into the blockchain, that's a very tedious process, and it's very important that you have something that's secure. And since Chainlink's been known to be secure with that, It's no surprise they have 900 partners, but again, the World Economic Forum mentioned them before they were even a thing. So,
all right, there we have it. And with that, Ruel, you have 53 minutes. A personal note, now that I'm injured and I can't go to the gym for an hour and a half every day, which is what I would do in the past, I'm trying to spend more time with my girlfriend. I promised her that I would take her to Target tonight. So we have until 8 on the dot, and then I'm on Target duty.
Oh yeah, I can't have the girlfriend waiting. That's just bad business. And I want you to come back next week, so
Perfect. Alrighty, sir.
The guy always makes you late. Oh my God, you can't do a show with him.
Exactly. I blame it on producer AB. Don't worry.
Right. Shout out AB. What's up? All right, let's get into it. Let me pretend like I know how to use the share button.
And let's get a screen share going.
Okay, so I kind of got these all in one list, and that's kind of spoiled the whole list of the thing, but whatever.
Oh, like there's not going to be a tease, you're saying?
Yeah, you know what? I'll just tease it because I can pull it up on my phone, so that'd be better.
All right, there you go. That's better.
Let's do that. So, but we'll start with the first coin. Literally, the first coin is LCX. If we come over here, proofs in the pudding here. This is their CEO, Monty Metzger. And if we just scroll down here, member, World Economic Forum. LCX joins the World Economic Forum, and this is from 2019, January 2019. So, and if you really think about that, if they joined in 2019, that plan probably was thought of way before 2019, right? If we come over here and look at their price action, they were highest when we were in that bull market. So looking at them right now at 6 cents, I think it's such a good deal, especially considering other exchanges kind of have a target on their back. Maybe not Coinbase, but Binance definitely has a target on his back because Binance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just agreeing with you.
Because Binance, they didn't do some of the things that the World Economic Forum wanted as far as like restrictions on Russia. And believe me, I don't support either side. I think the people are the people that lost out the most, the Ukrainian people and the Russian people, based on what happened. So take no sides in that battle. I'm just talking specifically what Binance did. And of course, if we bring up, I think I have an article here. They're also being investigated by the SEC for shady practices, Binance's. So, and this is the SEC speaking, not me. Like they were involved with, if you look at it down here, Reuters mentions the hacking of Etherbase, with some of the proceeds being laundered through Binance by North Korea hacker group Lazarus, and Binance's association with Russian language drug mart Hydra. So there's a couple different things that the SEC is mad about Binance for. And there's also, if you come over to my channel, darkhorsewatcher.com, there's an existing beef between, and for you who don't know the slang, there's an existing grudge between Monty and CZ, the leader of Binance. LCX was actually supposed to be Binance LCX, but I'm sure that given what we have here from the SEC, CZ didn't do things as clearly or regulated enough for Monty, so Monty just went on and started LCX on its own. And if we look at the history here, so you can see here, basically from the coin's inception in 2019, Like, wouldn't it have been really great to just buy it back here at 0.0001 or something like that? But that's what happens when you find these exchanges early. Exchanges are one of the biggest ones that you can, like, one of the greatest ones you can get if you find a really good exchange. Like Steam X, by the way, which is one we brought on here for live AMA. If you find an exchange like this, it's really great to invest early. So, however, we're still pretty early here at 6 cents because the high was 50 cents. And if they achieve all the things that they want to achieve, like tokenizing assets, which with their Tiamon's product, I'll bring it up here. They've tokenized diamonds. So it's an NFT backed by
That's
a
cool.
diamond. Go ahead.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Right? So it's an NFT backed by a diamond in which they pay you to hold it by issuing you another token called TIA. So it's really, really, really cool. It's kind of like to be honest, it's pretty revolutionary when you think about it. Um, and here's like the tokenomics, and part of the tokenomics is every transaction is automatically transferred into the LCX token at Uniswap. The LCX token acquired will be added to LCX's long-term reserve. So it also kind of bolsters the price of LCX, this Tiamon's token or TIA token also. So, and you can see here with every the first one, reflection, 5% of every fee, every buy, transfer, sell is redistributed to existing holders. So they already have like a plan to have some DeFi happening with this token and with the Tiamons. So it's pretty cool concept, I have to say. And they also have plans in the future to kind of tokenize other stuff. So if we come over here and look at their site, they already have a live what is it, like phone app for both Android and Apple, so you can use that. um it's the apps aren't the greatest like looking yet, and they aren't the greatest with the functionality yet. I can say that and point that out for sure. But seeing as how they got the WEF behind them, they're going to really have huge and deep pockets behind them. So I'm very, very bullish on them in the future. And I say this every podcast or everywhere that I'm at. We're trying to build bags for the next Bitcoin halving, which is 5/4/24. So I'm going to build the bag as big as I can on this um, before the next halving. And they always ask me this question. I hate this every time I pull up their site, even though I'm already subscribed on the thing and I already received the newsletter. So annoying. It should know that. So, oh, there it goes again. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to ignore this. I wanted to go into some of its partners, and that was going to kind of let us go into the next thing. But, okay, maybe if I do and click here, maybe that'll stop it. Let's just do it one more time. Okay, forget it. So then the next partner of theirs is one I'm very high on as well. It's a coin called DAG, Constellation. Now, it's more than just a coin. Like how we just saw LCX, they have an exchange. They're essentially like a Coinbase. Um, the only thing they're missing right now, LCX, is to have their own blockchain, and they're in. I think they're in the works of having that happen. There's different language and different verbiage from their site, which I could show you if this wasn't so stupid. Let me see if maybe I might have the. Okay, yeah, I already have the link. So great. More than one way to skin a cat, they say. So if we go down here to, actually, I'm sorry. Let me go back to DAG before we continue on to that part. Very sorry, guys. So
Don't be sorry.
Constellation. Thank you. Constellation. So these guys are more than just a coin, just like LCX is an exchange. These guys also have their own exchange, which is called the Lattice Exchange, which we'll get into some more later. But I just wanted to show you the token. It's LTX. What I really love about these guys is that they're a layer zero platform. Now, layer zero platforms, one layer zero platform is Polkadot, which LCX is also partnered with. But Constellation, excuse me, these guys are working with the government. So if we come over here and we look at federal, and we kind of scroll down here as soon as it loads, you can see they already have a letter of support from the Secretary of Defense. Don't know if that was Trump or under Trump or Biden, but either way, it's still cool as hell. Air Mobility Command letter of support, and they're already working with the U.S. Air Force. Which, if we scroll up, I think they say something about that. Okay, so U.S. Air Force letter of support. So they're already having a partnership with them, which is huge, guys. Because when you really think about regulation, and you guys know I'm a programmer, I've also programmed for military people like General Dynamics. There's a very, very stringent type of policy you need to follow. Is a very stringent type of requirements that you need to follow for the military and the government. And saying that they have letters of support from those type of people, that's really, really, really huge. And then if we go into the fact that they have their own exchange, and that exchange has, let's see if we can go to it here. That exchange has its own launch pad. They're also launching and assisting on launching other projects. So when you wrap all that stuff into one another, this is a very, 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 very huge project. And if we come over here and look at their tokenomics, they're only like a max supply of 3 billion, which is pretty nice when you think about it. LCX is around like a little under 1 billion. So I'm really high on this guy for the future. Okay.
But don't you like the lower supply?
Yes, lower supply is great.
That means that it's easier to get the price to move, right? So if you're investing in it,
exactly, just like shares with stock, exactly, Luke, 100%. So yeah, so since LCX has a lower supply, like Luke is saying there, higher on them, but Constellation is pretty high in my book. So next we'll move over to Polkadot. And I saved them for right now so that we could go look at what LCX had on their docket about those guys. Because they kind of go into almost saying that, and this thing parody is like Polkadot's like engineers, kind of like input output is Cardano's engineers. So they almost kind of like hint at, okay, so I think it's right here. So the Lichtenstein Protocol is the protocol that LCX uses, and they started that protocol with regulation first as like a whole deal. So it's pretty odd that SEC targeted them. Excuse me. When everything they do is based on regulation and tracking in a kind of a WEF manner, right? Everything they do is based on regulation. So it's kind of odd that the SEC target them. But if you come and look at what they say, the Lichtenstein Protocol is a proprietary protocol to deliver chain-agnostic token standard, which will be built on top of Polkadot's blockchain solution. The Lichtenstein Protocol aims to leverage Polkadot network to strengthen a solution that will enable token issuers to access and secure reliable transport and compliant infrastructure for digital securities. So right there, they say compliant infrastructure. Everything that they say is always compliant, and they say the Lichtenstein Protocol is a regulated, highly regulated protocol. They always say that. So going back here, the Lichtenstein Protocol integration with Polkadot's blockchain will unlock access to projects to the developing potential of tokenized securities. So hence, if you read between the lines there, you see it's like developing potential for tokenized securities, that there's more coming, that they're going to have more tokenized securities coming in the same mode of Tiamon's. The Polkadot ecosystem projects can leverage LCX security standard, again, security, LCX's security token standard to issue digital native security tokens in compliance with frameworks and standards adopted by regulated financial entities. So everything they do is a regulation deal. So when you put something into LCX, you feel a little bit more comfortable with this than saying putting it in Celsius or elsewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're saying regulation first, right, Luke?
Exactly. And you mentioned Cardano a second ago. Can we just talk about Cardano for a second?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Favorite. Where are you at? You got me on the Cardano as a ETH killer hype train.
Yes, I did.
You're a big Charles fan. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah.
What's your current read?
My
2 minutes.
Current read
because again,
is...
I know you got a big list for today.
No, it's all good. Let's be organic with it. Let's let it flow. My read is, every step of the way, Charles seemed prepared for this crypto winter. A lot of other companies like Celsius, I hate to say, and Voyager, I hate to say, seemed ill prepared for it. But the whole while, like, Charles is up here having, like, he went to Congress and had like a talk there, and he was like, that was like a invited thing. He wasn't like required. So like every step of the way, it seems like he's been prepared for this crypto winter. And basically, I'm really still high on them. They have a huge community behind them. And if we just break them out right quick, we'll come back here to Polkadot. One of the things I didn't realize is Cardano has a huge supply, which also.
But you should have known that though, right?
I should have,
based on how big the community is.
But see, exactly, 100%, Luke. You said it right there, right there.
See, I'm learning, Ruell.
You are. See, you're like you might as well be like a crypto and stock guy at this point.
Well, exactly, because I'm a stock guy, like I say every single episode. And what I'm learning is that a lot of the skills are just so darn transferable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
exactly like Luke.
You understand the concepts. You're getting there.
So exactly like he said, that speaks to how big their community is. That 33 billion ADA tokens, and they still made it to almost like $2.50 because that community is so huge, and it makes sense because
what was the market cap and what is it now?
So right now it's at.
And I'm gonna throw this one out for the chat. If you have a favorite crypto, drop it in the chat. I'm curious where everybody's at.
17 billion.
Okay.
Which makes it rank number 8.
Yeah, it's huge.
And the whole way Charles has been planning this, it seems, because I think it was very advantageous of him to launch this in Africa and kind of expect that bankers were going to be really not happy with crypto and where crypto was going. He had the foresight to start this in Africa. And like, I know some people give him grief for that because it's like, okay, you might not necessarily be doing it for humanitarian reasons, but the case still stands that it's going to help a lot of Africans. And Africa, they have a huge APY on what they pay for loans. So regardless of whether he did it for his own purposes or whatever, it's going to help Africans. So so that's one thing. And I just love it how he's always on YouTube, and he's always kind of like interacting with the community. Um, but yeah, it seems like he's been set for this crypto winter. He was a founder of Ethereum, so obviously, like he says, he doesn't have that many corporate buddies, but obviously he knows he knows his stuff.
Clearly.
Yeah, so Ada has, they're one of the only people that have like huge NFT following besides Polygon and Ethereum. I'd say Cardano and Solana are like the biggest ones with NFT followings. So much so that Snoop Dogg has an affiliation with a project on Cardano, when before he had only exclusively done Ethereum projects. So that's huge. Snoop's
huge.
like the world ambassador at this point.
No, I agree. It's huge.
So yeah, I'm really high on Cardano. Like, if you ask me, like between LCX and Cardano, which one's going to have the biggest, like the highest multiplier, like which one's going to like 3x, 4x, 5x, it'll probably be LCX because it's so much at the infancy stage. But which one has the bigger community, which one has the biggest following, which one has the most things in place right now today? Cardano, by far.
Fair. All right. No, it's helpful.
No, it's all good. So knowing that and going back over to Polkadot, Polkadot's founder, Gavin Wood, worked along with Charles Hoskinson as founders of Ethereum. So it's kind of advantageous that Luke brought up Cardano here, because both of those guys were co-founders. Both of these founders, Cardano and Polkadot, both of those guys helped with the Ethereum. So know that, guys. Now, if we look at Polkadot, and we looked at kind of like what LCX plans to do with them, is kind of a really cool thought, in that if they can get their stuff going on Polkadot, and they have like an aggregator that's if you log into LCX and you use their platform, they have a DEX aggregator already built on Polkadot's parachain. So if they just extended that out and built their own blockchain on Polkadot, which, like, remember I said, it's a layer 0. So if you build onto Polkadot, you're essentially your own layer 1. That's what you have to note. That's exactly why with Constellation, that's how when they launch tokens on their launch pad, they're launching tokens that are going to be built on their layer 0, and those tokens now become their own layer 1s. So if LCX gets built on Polkadot and they become their own layer 1, it'll be really cool for them, because then like it almost allows them to be more multi-platform, because being built on Polkadot, they can interact with any other layer 1 on Polkadot's chain first, and then it'd probably be pretty easy for them to get onto like Ethereum or Cardano or whatever else. Have wrap tokens for that. But yes, so Polkadot's really high on my list, but they'll be kind of after LCX and after DAG. Next on the list would be Hedera. Now, Hedera, if we come look at them, they're coin with a huge supply as well. Charles really hates Hedera.
Why?
I think he hates them because they're not truly decentralized. And like all the people behind Hedera are like the who's who of like WEF. You know what I mean? And like let's just break out Hedera right now. And we'll look at their partners and you'll know what I'm saying. Well, Luke will know what I'm saying, and other people may or may not. But if we come look at their partners, Boeing, Google, IBM, Shinhan Bank, T-Mobile, LG, like these people, like those partners alone correspond to like so many of the world's resources and so many of what the world does. Like Boeing, besides General Dynamics, Boeing does like literally all the military stuff for America, pretty much. General Dynamics, I gotta give them a shout out because I used to work there. But
What'd you do there? Software?
Yeah, programming.
Okay.
But Google, we come on, it's Google. Like, what else do we need to say? The world's number 1 and number 2 search engines are controlled by Google search and YouTube. So they have a large impact on the world. IBM, they have a lot of the world's like servers but yeah, that's why Charles doesn't like them, because they're so corporate. But yeah, however, for us as an investor, okay, if you got big money people, big name people behind you like this, then that's something you want to see. That's something that like, okay, you got all those horses and you're connected into the WEF. So future seems bright for them. Hedera's next on that list for sure. And we could go into a whole thing. Well, let's go into one thing. Their tokenization. I think we did this last week, but just in case someone doesn't go back to the last week's show, I think it's very important that we play this video. Let me find it really quickly.
That was a good song.
I try to be musical. Oh yeah, right. Yay, it's right here. Okay, so let's just watch this one more time. And it's very quick. It's only like a minute. Okay, let me up my volume. Get this up, Ski. Full screen this. And Monty's going to talk about tokenization, guys. Remember, we mentioned that with the Tiamans, right? And we're going to mention it again here with Hedera.
How do you see the importance of tokenized assets and the future of tokenization?
Oh, this is a big deal. So I think that ultimately pretty much everything of value will end up being tokenized. It just makes too much sense. It's the same way that we used to do record keeping on paper, and it eventually all moved to computers just because it made sense. And we used to send information back and forth by mailing these shiny discs through the mail. How weird. Now it's all just over the internet. In the same way, ledger's going to end up tokenizing everything. What that means is traditional assets like stocks and diamonds and artwork are all going to be tokenized. But in addition, people are going to start tokenizing things that have never been tokenized before, like your own future revenue. You know, Spencer Dinwiddie is doing that. That's going to be tokenized. People are going to be tokenizing things like a kilowatt hour of electricity combined with carbon credits to offset it, glued together. People are tokenizing that. People are going to be tokenizing complex derivatives and futures and sorts of things. All of these things are going to be tokenized. Things that haven't been tokenized before. Spencer tokenized the ability for people to influence which shoes he wears at the next game. This is not something that has ever been a market before. And so the ability to tokenize things and to send little tiny fractions of a value. I didn't even say that about the diamonds. Maybe I could buy a cup of coffee with a millionth of a diamond. You can't do that today. If I have a diamond, I can't really go to Starbucks and hand them a millionth of a diamond. But you can do that with tokenization.
Okay, so that's very important. I love everything about that except for the carbon credits. Don't agree with that. And I'll be very vocal about that till the rest of my life. And probably beyond, if it's possible. Yeah. Okay, so that's Hedera in a nutshell, and that's their co-founder. So then moving on to the next guy that's highly connected to the WEF, we will go to a coin called Track. Now, this is a supply chain coin. And the reason why this is very important for nowadays is because tons of supply chains are jacked up. If you listen to the World Economic Forum and many other places, supply chains are really jacked. So if you can have the supply chain move to a blockchain, you now have like an immutable place where they can now track goods and make sure that everything in that supply chain is being hit. Like, for example, semiconductors. We're at a shortage of semiconductors and chips. Me knowing what I know and working for a medical device company, I knew like almost years ago that there were a problem with supply chain for semiconductors. And part of this problem is not necessarily having to do with the WEF or anything like that. But if we just look at the digitization of the world nowadays, more electric cars, more like you're going to have like more electric charging stations, more phones, more this, more that. All of those things need semiconductors, FPGAs, and that type of deal to function and get on the internet. So there's a reason why there's an actual valid reason why there's a chip shortage. But if you have this being tracked on the blockchain, now you have, okay, we need to get out X many chips, and our records say that we're only going to produce this many, then we need to do X amount of things to, need to get this material, that material, and that material to get everything out. So it's a very, very needed thing. And if we go to Origin Trail's YouTube, they even got into shipping personal protective equipment when it came to the Rona. And I'm not going to say that word because I don't want us to get any type of blocks on the account here. But you know what I mean? So if we go to their YouTube, there's an actual post that they shared. Oh, okay, it's bringing up mine. Not what I wanted to do. So let's see. Maybe I have it in here. Origin Trail. Okay. Hopefully I can get to their YouTube really quickly. Community. One more time. Okay, it's not on there. Shoot, guys. Let's see. But yeah, they had personal protective equipment on there, and they also are going to be built on. They have a new coin being built on Polkadot. Again, Polkadot. Like it seems like all these people are talking. So again, they're going to be built on Polkadot's parachain for another coin that they're doing, and they're also looking to do tokenization of things with that coin. Origin Trail. Okay, so I'm not going to play the video, but I'm going to at least show it to you so you know that there's a valid WEF connection there. So I don't want to play the video and get us flagged for anything, guys. So that's the reason why I'm not going to play it. But hopefully they still have it in there somewhere. Okay, yes, you can see it right here, right? This startup tracks medical supplies and personal protective equipment through blah, 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 World Economic Forum 1 year ago. So they have the ties already with the forum, okay? So that's really important because it seems like the World Economic Forum wants a future in which things are tracked. So this would be a tool that would do that. I'm not making any judgments on the tracking of things and what I think about it, but if they want to use it for that type of thing, that will mean that it will be lucrative for us if something like that does take place in any shape or form. So they have a supply of 500 million, which is pretty low. And I think they were as high as $1. Oh, they were as high as $2.50. So such a different bargain, such a freaking bargain. Sitting here at 23 cents. And they kind of caught the tail end of that last Bitcoin halving in 2016. They got kind of the tail end of the falling there. And you can see they got in full swing here in 2021. So they at least get back to even $1. We have a Forex here. Origin Trail is next on my list. So after Origin Trail, we have another company that teamed with LCX, and that company is called Zilquilla. This company has its own blockchain. Their blockchain uses sharding technology to make itself faster. And if you guys want to do some research on sharding technology, I think they have it down here. We can just read this right quick. Offer higher throughput with the ability to compete with thousands of transactions per second. It seeks to solve the issue of blockchain scalability and speed by employing sharding as a second layer scaling solution. Okay, so a lot of companies popped up, like Cardano, like Polkadot, like Zilquilla, as a kind of a combating of Ethereum, which with their miners make it very, very hard with their gas fees for a regular person to kind of use Ethereum. You got to kind of be like a really rich person to use Ethereum. They're trying to bring some of that down now with proof of stake instead of proof of work. But that of course has its own problems because if you're totally proof of stake, someone, if they were very rich, like hence the World Economic Forum, they could go in there and buy all the governance tokens and be in charge of all the decisions. So that's why some people do not like the proof of stake method, because they could go in and buy all the tokens and be the decision makers. That's why some people prefer proof of work, which is mining. And mining has its own issues with like energy. It's not as bad as people try to make it out to be, because you can mine with RF like helium does, and it barely costs the amount of like an LED light bulb of energy. So it's like almost nothing to power it. And some other companies are mining via like hard drive or hard drive. Some are mining via like oh god, I can't remember. So RF, hard drive, there's another one, but I can't remember. But there are tons of other different methods other than mining with GPUs, which can be and cost a lot of energy. Like CleanSpark, which is a company I like, it's publicly traded. They mine, but they use these microgrids to actually optimize their power when they mine. So they're doing it really like the
Are you
smart
still
way.
in CleanSpark?
I am, and I think when the next Bitcoin halving happens, they're gonna blow up.
Why?
Because that just tends to be the
catalyst.
Yeah, that just tends to be like once Clean Spark started Bitcoin mining, they just kind of got lumped in with all the rest of those Bitcoin stocks.
Yep, that is true.
They got thrown into a lot of Bitcoin ETFs as well. So they just got just locked into like Bitcoin mining stocks. I like their green ability with the microgrids as well. So, and I think that offers some diversity for them as a company, that they're not just Bitcoin miners, they also do microgrids. But yeah, I think when the next Bitcoin halving happens, 5/4/24, generally about 6 to 10 months after the halving, you have like really like enormous gains. If we go take a look at Bitcoin, I can show you what I mean. And I could pull up the same chart of Riot blockchain, which looks are Riot miners that are publicly traded. Their chart will look the exact same way. But I want to show this to you guys. This is a really good thing to note. Bitcoin moves in 4-year cycles. That's why some people were really ready for the next bear cycle. They were ready for it. It just so happens that Terra Luna kind of threw us in it real hard, their collapse, but people were ready for it. But if we come over here and look at Bitcoin, the last halving was before this last one that happened in 2020 was 5/4/2016. So 5/4/2016. Where is that? About right here. You can barely see it, but you can kind of see that some upwards motions happen here. And then about, what is this? About, I don't know how many months is that? Like 9. Okay, 5 plus 7 is 12 plus. Okay, so this one it took like 18 months after it went boom. Now the last halving before that, or the next halving before that, was 5/4/2020, which was about right here. And then from right here, we see it already just boom. And here, it was actually what? So 5 plus 7 is 12, and then plus 3 is 10 months. So here it only took 10 months. Here it took, what did we just say? So it didn't really kind of like shoot off until 2017. So it took about 18 months, right? Yeah, that's my math's right. So 5 plus 7 is 7, then plus 11 is 18. So 7 plus 11 is 18. So every cycle, it seems to be being like faster, that Bitcoin just goes nuts. So hell, maybe we see Bitcoin go like, after this halving, it goes bananas in like a month or 2 months, or maybe before, because this halving bonanza happened like 10 months after the halving. So maybe next time we only see it 5 months after the halving. I don't know. Who knows? But all I know is, while it's in this winter time, I'm accumulating big time. And that goes for those stocks as well. We could pull up the Benzinga Pro and look at
But Ruell, we're at 9 minutes. How many more do you have left?
I have a few more left.
We might not have time for Benzinga Pro. Or we pull up Benzinga Pro and we do a part 2.
Yeah, let's do a part 2. I think we could actually leave it here and we can do a part 2 for you guys. Or actually, yeah. So yeah, let's pull up Benzinga Pro and we'll do a part 2 next week. Because it is very important that you guys see this. Slowly but surely. because we can look at two mining stocks, Mara, Marathon, and then we can look at Riot blockchain, and you will see the exact same type of deal there. Let's close this one and just have it be this big. Close that one. And let's do Riot. If I could spell. Oh my God. Come on. Today, Junior. Come on. All right, maybe Marathon then. Maybe we quicker getting that one. Or not. Or yes. Or maybe. Or possibly. Actually, can you pull it up in your end, Luke?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Know what's happening.
All right, don't worry, I got you. That's what friends are for, right?
For sure.
Alrighty, boom.
And then go to like all.
What do you want to go to?
Like I want to see like the max years.
For which one?
Riot. Okay, so you see that over there, guys? That's 2017. And you see that peak there? And then how it just went down in 2019 and then started again 2020?
Yep.
I'm expecting the exact same thing when Bitcoin halves again. So
Okay.
I'm loading up on shares of that. And I'm also loading up on shares of Mara, Hive. There's a whole bunch of Clean Spark. There's a whole bunch I could name to you guys. Bakkt. Like there's a whole
I actually really like Bakkt. I met their CEO a couple months ago.
Really?
Yes, I did. Cool. I forgot to tell you. I should have told you that one. I also met Sam Bankman-Fried the same day.
Dude.
Swear to God.
That's a who's who list right there.
I know, baby. That's what I do. You got to make some moves here at Benzinga.
So, like this guy, that one right there, Bakkt, it has a deal in place with MasterCard. So I'm really high on that one as well.
Okay.
So you gonna be here for part 2? Luke?
I'm gonna be here for part 2, baby. Every week.
All right. Thank you guys so much. One thing I want to tell you guys is catch me on Rockfin. I'm now on Rockfin. I don't know how I scored that deal. They must have just liked my YouTube, but yeah, now on Rockfin.
All right, I dig it. All right, everyone. Happy trading. Let's keep at it. Part 2 this time next week. Be there or be square.